Okay. Good afternoon to everyone. Myself, I am Surya Narayana, working as an assistant professor in DBSIT Kavali. Today I am going to discuss the topic about finite element method subject. In this subject, I am going to explain the chapter 1, that is unit 1. In unit 1, I will explain plane stress and plane strain conditions. And what are the plane stress and plane strain conditions? In finite element method, we are using plane stress and plane strain conditions to solve the problems. Okay. First of all, the plane stress and plane strain conditions, that is D matrix. D matrix is derived from using the stress strain relations for three-dimensional body. That is three-dimensional problems using Hooke's law. In previous class, we already discussed about what is stress strain relation and we are using stress strain relations for deriving the D matrix. Okay. For that reason, we are taking the cubical block or equilibrium body, which is having three-dimensional 6 faces. In that, stress strain relations for linear elastic materials. That means we already know that Hooke's law states that stress is directly proportional to strain. That is, sigma is directly proportional to E. In that area, I am taking three proportionalities, that is Ex, Ey, Ez. Those are the sum of individual strains, Ex, Ey, Ez. We already know that in horizontal strains, that means in x direction, the strains will be one positive and another two negatives. Sigma x by E minus mu is the Poisson's ratio. Poisson's ratio, we already know that Poisson's ratio that equal to linear strain, lateral strain by linear strain, mu into sigma y by E minus mu into sigma z by E. Sigma z by E is the depth. This is the horizontal direction and vertical direction, x and y. And similarly, Ey, strain in vertical direction, that means strain in y direction. One negative minus mu sigma x by E, and one negative, another negative will be minus mu into sigma z by E. One positive will be sigma y by E. And students, please observe that for every horizontal and vertical direction, sigma x, Ex and Ey, in that positions, only the x terms and y terms in Ez, the z terms will be only positive. Another remaining terms all are negatives. Okay, in that statement, I'm stating that in sigma x, the strain along x direction. In Ex, the strain in along x direction, and negative strain along the other two directions. That means one is positive. Positive will be sigma x by E minus another two are negative strains, minus mu sigma y by E minus mu sigma z by E. Similarly, coming to strain in y direction, that means one positive sigma y by E, another two are negative directions, minus mu sigma x by E minus mu sigma z by E. Similarly, as Ex and Ey, Ez also sigma z by E is positive and another two are negatives. This derivation is completed in last class, but rewinding this complete derivation for doing plane stress and plane strain conditions. Summing of all strains. In that condition, I am summing of all strain conditions, that is in x direction and y direction and z direction. By substituting and taking sigma x by E as common, by taking common 1 minus 2 mu. In x direction, 2 mu's. One is minus mu and another one is minus mu. 1 minus 2 mu plus in y direction, sigma y by E is as common, 1 minus 2 mu's. And parallelly, sigma z by E as common, and another two terms as 1 minus 2 mu as remaining terms. And I'm taking 1 minus 2 mu as common in all terms by divided by E. The remaining terms will be sigma x plus sigma y plus sigma z. And parallelly, I'm taking sigma x plus sigma y plus sigma z that equal to, and reversing this term, E by 1 minus 2 mu and Ex plus Ey plus Ez. Consider the below equation. Ex equal to sigma x by E minus, I'm writing the first equation, Ex equal to sigma x by E minus mu into sigma y by E minus mu into sigma z by E. I'm modifying this equation, Ex as taking 1 by E as common. The remaining will be sigma x minus mu into sigma y plus sigma z. And also I'm writing again this equation for sigma y plus sigma z. Sigma y plus sigma z that equal to sigma x minus E into Ex. This mu will be into downside. Substituting sigma y plus sigma z, this value should be submitted or substituted in that equation. That means in equation 1, we are substituting sigma y plus sigma z value, that is sigma x minus Ex by mu into equation 1 in that place. Sigma x plus sigma x minus Ex by mu that equal to E by 1 minus 2 mu into Ex plus Ey plus Ez. Okay. In that equation, we are substituting sigma y plus sigma z value as sigma x minus Ex by mu. After substituting that value in equation 1, we get, and multiplying mu with terms as mu into sigma x plus sigma x minus Ex minus Ex as E mu by 1 minus 2 mu and similar terms. After taking sigma x as common term in LHS, remaining will be, after taking sigma x as common, 1 will be stayed there in that position. 1 plus mu, E mu by 1 minus 2 mu, Ex plus Ey plus Ez. This term, subtracting term, will be transferred from LHS to RHS. The term will be negative. In LHS, it will be negative. Transferred to RHS, that will be transferred or converted into positive term plus Ex. After then, sigma x plus sigma x into 1 plus mu, that will be E mu by 1 minus 2 mu, and multiplying the term with mu Ex plus mu Ey plus mu Ez plus Ex minus 2 mu. That means in that position also we are multiplying with mu term. After that, sigma x will be E by 1 plus mu, E by 1 plus mu, 1 minus 2 mu. Taking Ex as common, and remaining terms will be 1 minus mu plus mu Ey and plus mu Ez. Okay. Similarly, for sigma y and sigma z, these are the terms for sigma y and sigma z stresses, normal stresses. After that, we know that G is the modulus of rigidity. For modulus of rigidity, G equal to, this is the formula, E by 2 into 1 by 1 plus mu. That will be written as E by 2 into 1 plus mu. In that statement, I'm stating that tau xy, that means shear stress in xy direction, that is directly equals to modulus of rigidity into strain in xy direction. In that tau of xy, strain in xy direction, I'm taking G value, that means E by 2 into 1 plus mu into mu xy. Multiplying and dividing equation 2 with the term 1 minus 2 mu. Why we are multiplying and dividing this term with 1 minus 2 mu? For that cancellation and substitution and simplifying that equation, for that I am multiplying and dividing the term with 1 minus 2 mu. Here in that equation, I am multiplying e into 1 minus 2 mu. Here also 2 into 1 minus 2 mu into 1 plus mu xy. For that, after substituting, tau of xy equal to e by 1 minus 2 mu into 1 plus mu, 1 minus 2 mu by 2 into mu xy. Similarly for tau yz and tau xz. After that, all cancellations and all simplifyings, we get left side LHS equal to stresses. That means 3 normal stresses and 3 shear stresses. In that RHS, we get 3 normal engineering strains and 3 shear strains. In that, we get E by 1 plus mu into 1 minus 2 mu, 1 minus mu triple zeros. This is the equation we get from sigma x equation. In previous slide, we get the sigma x value as E by 1 plus mu into 1 minus 2 mu as common for D matrix, and the terms 1 minus mu and mu ex, ey, ez as written in right side boxes. That means in strain positions. But also I'm taking only the values of mu's. That means Poisson's ratio values 1 minus mu, all zeros for condition. Similarly for sigma y and sigma z. For tau yz, I am taking the value of tau yz. It will be all zeros, only 1 minus 2 mu by 2. Mu yz will be written in shear strain conditions. Okay, observe that I'm taking E by 1 minus 2 mu and 1 plus mu as common, and the term will be 1 minus 2 mu by 2. In that position, 1 minus 2 mu by 2 as written in matrix form, and the mu yz will be written in RHS. That means shear strain conditions. Okay, this is the important matrix, D matrix, or stress strain relation for 3-dimensional body. It was completed in last class, but I am rewinding that equations for doing and understanding the plane stress and plane strain conditions. Okay, we are doing or we are deriving the plane stress and plane strain conditions based on stress strain relations of 3-dimensional elasticity body. Okay, for that condition, I am rewinding this complete equation. Okay, coming to today class, plane strain. What is plane strain? We already know that strain is nothing but change in length to original length, change in deformation to original deformation. That means we are deriving the plane strain condition. Okay, for that condition, I'm taking a long uniform body which is subjected to transverse loading. Okay, here I'm showing the transverse loading. The forces are acting in forward direction or reverse direction or backward direction. It is a long uniformed pipe carrying, consider that it is a long uniform pipe, hydrodynamic static loading. It is subjected to transverse loading. Okay, it is subjected to transverse loading, and it is carrying fluid. Okay, assume that it is carrying fluid. Generally, in long members, which is subjected to loading, occurs in 2 directions. One is forward and another one is the downward or backward direction. But in this z direction, that is thickness or depth will be negligible. That is directly equal to 0. That is sigma z or tau xz, tau yz. Those terms will be zeros. Only the forward and backward directions forces are taken as consideration. After that, I'm writing for a 3-dimensional system, stress strain relation is given by, okay, observe that for this relation, I'm completing the stress strain relation for 3-dimensional body. Okay, sigma x, sigma y, sigma z, tau xz, tau yz, tau zx. Okay, this is the condition we already completed in stress strain relation for 3-dimensional body. Here, plane stress condition is nothing but that is similar to D matrix of stress strain relation for a three-dimensional body. Similar conditions. Particularly, we are following stress strain relation for a three-dimensional body. One side stresses and another side will be strains. But in plane strain condition, we are explaining and taking consideration as long uniform body. It has two loads. One is forward in the forward direction and one will be reversed or backward direction, and it is subjected to transverse loading. Okay. Considerations will be it is carrying fluid. Okay. After then writing directly stress strain relation for a three-dimensional body. This is the plane strain condition. After that, coming to plane stress. Plane stress conditions also similar to plane strain conditions, but in this also I am taking negligible condition for stresses in z direction, sigma z. That means negligible. Thickness is negligible. For explaining and understanding plane strain conditions, I am showing plane stress. Plane stress problem. A body is said to be in plane strain that is subjected to plane loading. In this, I am taking a ring mounted shaft here. I am showing that a ring mounted shaft. Okay, in that middle will be shaft, ring mounted shaft. It is subjected to plane loading. Okay, in plane loading. Okay, it is subjected to in plane loading. Thickness of the body is negligible. That is, thickness will be in z direction. It will be negligible. For example, ring pressure mounted on a shaft in a thin plate. In that condition, in plane stress, sigma z, tau xz, tau yz. That means the stresses which are acted in z direction, that they will be in normal stresses or shear stresses. Those are completely negligible or zeros, directly equals to zero. The stress strain relation for plane stress, we are completed plane strain problem, but in plane stress condition, sigma x, sigma y, sigma tau xy only. I am taking only sigma x, sigma y, tau xy. Sigma z and tau yz, tau xz will be negligible, that is zeros. E by 1 minus mu square, 1 mu 0, mu 1 0, 0 0, 1 mu 1 minus mu by 2. Ex Ey mu xy. Okay, we are deriving. We will derive this equation in next slide. Plane stress is nothing but a ring mounted shaft is subjected to plane loading. In plane loading, in that condition, thickness is negligible. That means sigma z, tau yz, tau xz are negligible or zeros. It is the plane stress condition. Okay. Plane stress. Assuming z as third direction, all are zeros or negligible. Examples for that: a ring mounted shaft, a plate with hole subjected to in plane, a plate with fillets. We already know that fillets and chamfers, plane stress condition. All are zeros. Hooke's law. Hooke's law for three-dimensional. We already know that Hooke's law for three-dimensional. We know that Ex equal to sigma x by E minus mu into sigma y by E minus mu into sigma z by E. Because why we don't take the value of mu into sigma z by E? Because that in plane stress condition, we are taking sigma z and tau yz, tau xz are negligible or zeros. Because of that equation, because of that statement, I am taking minus mu sigma y by E only. Sigma z by E as negligible condition. Ey. Ex Ey minus mu into sigma x by E plus sigma y by E. Here also I am not taking the value of minus mu into sigma z by E. And adding the both equations, sigma x by E minus mu into sigma y by E minus mu into sigma x by E plus sigma y by E. After taking the values sigma Ex plus Ey, that equal to taking 1 minus mu as common, 1 minus mu by E. After the remaining terms will be sigma x plus sigma y. Taking sigma x plus sigma y into left side, that means LHS side, the remaining will be reversal. The term will be reversed, E by 1 minus mu, Ex plus Ey. I'm taking only Ex value. Ex will be 1 by E sigma x minus mu into sigma y. I'm modifying the equations for getting the value of Ex and substituted that equation in equation 1, Ex plus Ey. Instead of Ex value, I'm substituting the value of 1 by E sigma x minus mu sigma y into equation 1. Ex that equal to sigma x minus mu into sigma y. Mu into sigma y that equal to sigma x minus Ex. Finally, sigma y equal to sigma x minus Ex by mu. I'm substituting the value of sigma y. Okay, I'm not substituting sigma x value. Sigma y value in that equation 3. Sigma y is sigma x minus Ex by mu. I'm substituting the value of sigma y in that equation 3. Sigma x plus sigma x minus Ex by mu, and that equal to E by 1 minus mu into Ex plus Ey. After substituting that value, mu into sigma x plus sigma x minus Ex, that will be E mu by 1 minus mu Ex plus Ey. Then sigma x as common, remaining will be 1 plus mu. That term Ex will be multiplying with 1 minus mu, Ex into 1 minus mu plus E mu into Ex plus Ey divided by 1 minus mu. And similarly, taking E by 1 minus mu as common, and remaining will be multiplied with mu. Parallelly, in 3-dimensional also, we are doing multiplying with mu terms in 3-dimensional stress and relations. We are continuing in 2-dimensional, that means plane stress conditions also. Mu Ex plus mu Ey plus mu Ex minus mu Ex. After translation, sigma x will be E by 1 plus mu into 1 minus mu Ex plus E by mu. Parallelly, sigma y tau xy. In previous slide, I told you tau xy, that means shear stress in xy direction, that equal to modulus of rigidity into strain in xy direction. But modulus of rigidity G equal to E by 2 into 1 plus mu. So I'm substituting the value of tau xy, that is E by 2 into 1 plus mu into mu xy. After that, E into, okay, I'm multiplying the terms of 1 minus mu into numerator and also denominator also. E into 1 minus mu, 2 into 1 plus mu into 1 minus mu xy. After the calculations, tau xy that equal to taking E by 1 minus mu square as common, the remaining will be 1 minus mu by 2 into mu xy. For plane stress conditions, we already know that the strains on the stresses in xz, yz are negligible or zeros. In matrix form, sigma equal to d into d is the d matrix, displacement matrix. After that, only I'm writing x and y directions, stresses in x and y directions, and strains in x and y directions. E by 1 minus mu square. Okay, this is the tau xy value. E by 1 minus mu square, 1 minus mu by 2 mu xy. Taking E by 1 minus mu square as common, the remaining will be sigma x. The value of sigma x will be E by 1 plus mu and 1 minus mu as common. The terms only mu. 1 Ex in that position, sigma x. Ex as 1 plus mu. 1 mu. 1 mu 0. Instead of sigma y, Ex Ey. That means mu 1 0. 0 1 1 minus mu by 2. In the tau xy position, 1 minus mu by 2, 0, 1, 1 minus mu by 2, mu xy. Finally, D matrix will be E by 1 minus mu square, 1 mu 0, mu 1, 0, 0, 0, 1 minus mu by 2, Ex, Ey, mu xy. Therefore, D is the material constitutive matrix for plane stress problem. Okay. Friends, please notice that the D matrix for plane strain condition is similar to stress strain relation matrix for three-dimensional elastic body. Coming to plane stress condition, that will be changed in some content, somewhat content, that is E by, in plane strain condition, we are writing that E by 1 plus mu into 1 minus 2 mu. But in plane stress condition, we are changing the value E by 1 minus mu square. Okay. In plane strain, 1 plus mu into 1 minus 2 mu. But in plane stress, E by 1 minus mu square. But the remaining terms are all are similar to plane strain conditions. After that, what are the differences which are important in external examinations? Explain the differences in between plane stress and plane strain problems. In that condition, we are writing these examples for plane stress and plane strain condition. Simple, only simple terms in plane stress condition, taking ring mounted shaft as example. In that plane loading, the load is acting in plane loading. In plane strain condition, we are taking long uniform body. In plane stress, thickness is negligible. In plane strain condition also, sigma z, that means depth will be negative. Depth will be negligible or zeros. In plane stress and in plane strains. And finally, stress strain relations for plane strain and stress strain relations for plane stress and plane strain.